when we talk about state police, I want us to have this at the back of our mind that it is about bringing security close to us, preventing us from any threats, preventing us from any kidnappings, preventing us from criminals. So I actually feel what is causing arguments especially is the people are actually making the government know that it is the people that understand their language, the people that understand the culture, the people that understand the terrain, where these people come from, where they are going to. They understand the forest, they understand here and there. So this is what is really causing the argument. So what I would say again is, if the government are actually looking at state police, we should always understand that what works for other states might not work for other states. So we should look at that too. What works for Lagos State might not work for Borno State, might not work for Benin, might not work for other states, because these states are mostly, we call them village. Lagos is very exposed, it is very occupied with people. So if this I'm not saying criminals cannot penetrate or cannot come to Lagos, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what works in Lagos might not work in other states. So we should be considerate that these people we should actually look at the local policing, people that understand the language, they understand everything. When they see any spy in the community, they'll be able to give a vivid information about it. And when there is any when there is any attack, there is any threat, they will be able to quickly attend to things like this before the state police can arrive to the location. Let's look at it. We know election is coming 2027. I don't know if that is why government are actually clamoring for state police. I don't want to say that. But what I want to say is, we know how governments do their thing all the time. We know how they do it. These are leaders know how they do. Every time they know the election is coming up, we know that they use police to intimidate their opponents. They use it against themselves. We should also look at that area too. And it is also going to come back to Nigerian citizens, because when they start using police to intimidate their opponent, it would affect Nigerians. So I want our leaders to look it. They should not be biased. We should make it be of the people, not of ourselves. If it is for the security of the people, the state police and the local police can actually work hand in hand together to make sure people are actually safe. Looking at the funding part of it again, if these people are actually put in place, they should start working. How can we fund them? How can we make sure their welfare are being put in place? How are we going to make sure that they won't suffer? Because this thing they are yet to go and face to secure the people, they are putting their life, their family at risk. What are the necessary things put aside? Because if anybody goes or die along the way, what are the necessary things for the family? Compensation for the family. So actually, these are the necessary things we should actually put in place if we want to consider state police. And Kenneth, which I was actually talking about, the necessary things we actually need in the country, instead of clamoring for state police, the employment of the people, the welfare of the people. We should also make sure these people, which is actually people that is actually secure, that can actually think of food. Someone that is not secure cannot think about food. So if we're actually putting the security at first too, we should also always remember that these people, their welfare is also important. So that is what I want to say for now.
All right, fantastic, Ibuku. Well said. Yeah, so to give my backing why state police can work in Nigeria, there are few things that should be considered. And these things are those things that are currently troubling the Nigerian police force. Number one, when you talk about establishment of state police, the welfare, just like Ibuku did said, those people that will be recruited, or those people that are currently within the personnel, police personnel that are currently within the 36 states of the Federation that are posted to their various commands, state commands, what should be the welfare strategy when state police actually comes to play? So number one, if the government is if the senators, if the government, if the federal government is actually interested in establishing state police in the country, they need to take cognizance of the welfare of the personnel. They need to take cognizance of the welfare of the personnel. because somebody who is dedicating his life to protect other people's life, the government must make sure that they must protect his life as well. They must take care of him, his family, because it is not easy for one to pick up arms and is being sent to the road or is being deployed to a particular location to go and secure the release of kidnapped victims, and at the end of the day he's not sure when his family will eat, when his family, the food, that money that will be given to his family. So the federal government, the state governors, and also the legislators must make sure that salary of state police must be, something that is well appreciated. That is that. Then equipment, because you cannot send a police officer with a pistol to go and rescue kidnapped victims, abducted innocent Nigerians in the forest. So when this state police is in operation, it is required, it is necessary, it is important that this state police, they are well weaponized. Weapon, equipment, operational vehicles should not be lacking when the state police comes to play. Okay, so welfare, weapons, equipment, these are things that can make it efficient, because you cannot say that you are a farmer and you are going to the farm with knives, you are going to the farm with forks, you are going to the farm with just a single cutlass. You need sophisticated state-of-the-art farming equipment to efficiently cultivate your farmland. So also is the police. So when the state police actually comes to play, the state governors, the stakeholders, the federal government should ensure that police personnel, police stations, because we watch in the movies when a particular department of state in the United States is under attack, you see them, you see this state, this police station, they will go to their armory to be picking up their arms. So we want various police divisions in this country, we want them to be weaponized, we want them to have state-of-the-art weapons, ammunitions, not just AK-47 that are rotten. No, we want state-of-the-art weapons. That is that. Then when it comes to funding is one of the most important things to have an efficient state police in the country. What will be the funding framework? Yes, we understand. Like I said the other day on Friday, I went through, I highlighted all the provisions, that are included in the establishment of state police, and funding is one of the things. Yes, it is understandable that the Nigerian police force is being funded by consolidated funds, but we want a dedicated funding for the state police by the various state governors, and it is also it puts the governors on a hot seat to revamp their economic drive in their various states. If, for instance, your state as a governor is generating 25 billion on a monthly basis, is generating 15 billion on a monthly basis, it is expected of you as a state governor to start thinking of other ways to generate revenue for your state, in your state. Now that state police is coming to play, it is expected state governors to start thinking, if you are the one that is generating 15 billion on a monthly basis, now that state police is coming to play, it is expected of you to double, to triple, or even to quadruple your revenue, so that when the people that you be recruiting into the state police service, when you are recruiting them, you will not be thinking or racking your brain on where to source for fund. Like I said earlier, over a few days ago, that one of the first sources of funding for state police, just like the Lagos State government is doing, we have a dedicated security trust fund that citizens are citizens are expected to donate to the state police trust fund in Lagos State. So I want to call on the various policy state of the governor of the state governors to key into what Lagos State is doing, having a special dedicated trust fund for security in the country. So those few things I think when those things are well taken care of, Nigeria will not be, the government will not be thinking about how will this state police be efficient. So when the welfare of the personnel are taken care of, when police are adequately weaponized, and also when there is no pause is as to the funding, of state police can work in Nigeria if these things are adequately addressed. IBK, last word.
Yes, you actually said well. I want to ask, I want our leaders to actually have this thing in mind before taking any decision. Does police officers' salary worth their life? Because when you look at their salary, when that doesn't worth their life, they are going there. Because when I even think about it, I look at their salary, does it really worth their life? They say, what you want to go and do? You want to go and face, you want to rescue someone's life
from the enemy territory
because of your own life. You are risking your life. Does your salary worth it? So I actually think there are some things that our leaders need to sit down and look at. That is it.
Yeah. And also, it is also important that despite the fact these things that we have mentioned, the police officers, those people that will be recruited into the state police services, they should be well disciplined. I mean, training should be top notch. Their training should be world class. Like I said, a few days ago, that for any governor to think about establishing state police, in their state, the governor should travel to developed countries, that have various state police departments in those countries. Take a cue from how they are funding their own state police. Take a cue from them on how they are doing it, because when you go to people that are already in that business and you learn from them, you will be able to replicate those things that they are doing in their state, in their country, into your own country, into your own state, so that it can work. So it is not a rocket science for state police to work. It is things that are deliberate. We must be deliberate on those components, that Ibuku and I listed on how to make state police efficient and work successfully in the country. Yes. Also, another thing again is the control of state police. In the establishment, in the act, in the provisions of that state police that I read last week, it is expected that state governors will not have an overbearing control, with state police in their domain. So there should be a clearly stated, provisions in that bill, in that act, that state governors should not have an overbearing control. Yes, it is understandable that they are the one that is funding state police, but it should not be used as a political tool, against their opponents in the country, because